Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard is joining us this morning. We appreciate you being here, Chris. And I just thought I'd start with you on when you heard the news, your thoughts on what happened.
Well, I was actually in the air myself. I was flying here through Chicago, so I was about to land in Chicago. And I was getting texts before we landed, and somebody texted me, OMG. So I hit them back with a question mark, like, what? And they said, Kobe died. And I'm thinking, this can't be Kobe Bryant, I put in quick. And then they told me, and then the helicopter and all that. And, I mean, it was like a punch to the gut. You know, I was just stunned and devastated like everybody. And, you know, I wanted to cry. I didn't, but I really felt like I was going to cry. And, you know, not that we had a great relationship, but we had a good relationship. You know, we'd email here and there occasionally, and we had good interactions when I saw him. But there's so many reasons to be devastated. But for me, I'll say one is that he had made the transition from basketball superstar to life after basketball smoother than anyone I'd ever seen. Yep. And when he was a player, I actually was concerned about his life after basketball because he seemed so focused on basketball and that was his life that I was like, what's he going to do afterwards? And he went full bore into being a business mogul, a media mogul, a best-selling author, got an Oscar for his short film. And he was just very few athletes who were great, like superstars at their sport. And honestly, to your credit, you're one. But many, their second act is rarely as good as their first. His looked like it was going to be. As great as he was as a player, it looked like his second act after basketball was going to be as good as his first, or close, which is saying a lot. And so to see that cut short, that really devastated me. And one thing I'll learn from Kobe, like I want to apply this to my life, and I think everyone can, regardless of your field of endeavor. He didn't do anything halfway. Like, he didn't do anything just to get it done, just because I have to, just to be mediocre. He went full bore with everything. When he played basketball, that's all he thought about. And once he was done, now I'm on to this. I'm all about my business. I don't need to be on all the TV shows. You know, he did a little with the scout, the details, and, you know, he coached his daughter, obviously. But he went full bore into being a family man and a business mogul. And he was doing it. And so I want to apply that to my life, full bore in whatever I'm doing. And I think, to me, as great as the basketball legacy is, I think his legacy as far as mental strength on the court and off the court is really what a lot of people are going to remember as well. I'm going to bring up a memory that I think a lot of people overlook, and it's the 2000 finals against Indiana. Game 4, Kobe's in his 4th year. Remember, he had an ankle injury, so he missed all of Game 3, played like 8 minutes in Game 2, only scored 2 points. So they're playing Indiana. It's a tight game, one-possession game, and Shaq fouls out with about 3 minutes left. Kobe, on the bad ankle, hits 3 big buckets at the end of the game to lead them to victory. I think he had 26 points that game, and they won. That made it 3-1. Basically, the series was over. I think that's where he cemented his legacy as a closer, as a clutch guy. Because even, you know, he missed a lot of closing shots at the end of games, too, after that. But doing that as a 21-year-old, just 21 years old, and Shaq's gone, cemented him as a closer. So that's one of my greatest memories of him on the court. And then the second one is, you could talk about the 81, but 60 points in his last game on 50 shots. Like, that was totally Kobe. That was pure Kobe to take 50 shots and score 60 points on his way out. He hadn't even scored 40 points that season in any one game. And so to go out and do it at 37 years old in a win, those are the things I remember about Kobe on the court.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.